Hi, Democrats. Today is January 5th, and it's time for the Chair's Daily Live. Happy Thursday. Okay. Are you like me? Have you been watching the election of the Speaker of the House? It's sort of like a train wreck. You can't stop watching it. You can't get away from it. You get in your car, they're talking about it. You flip the channels, they're talking about it. They are now in the middle of the 10th vote. The 10th vote. We haven't taken this long to elect a Speaker of the House since before the Civil War. They're in the middle of the 10th vote. It's a little bit crazy. Here's the thing. I like to stay talking about local issues. I don't like to expand it, talking about the national stuff, because it loses focus. But I'm talking about this today because there is an Oklahoma focus. There is an Oklahoma component that is disappointing, but hardly surprising. Representative-elect Josh Burkeen from Congressional District 2, which is the eastern border of our state, who hasn't been sworn in yet, who was just elected on November 8th, has already joined the insurrection caucus. He's already joined in with those folks who are holding this congressional chamber hostage. He's joined in. He's way over there. He's voting with them or not voting with them. He's over there showing Oklahoma to be an extreme state. If you guys will recall, 2 years ago, on January 6th, James Langford was speaking at the time that they came in and had to stop the Senate side from doing what they were doing. But I railed against, and was very upset that newly elected Stephanie Bice from Congressional District 5 had been in office, had been sworn in for 3 days, and had already signed in to reject the votes of a different state. I don't know what happens when people go to D.C. They forget that they represent Oklahoma, and they get all caught up. They get all enamored and starry-eyed with joining the D.C. team. And apparently that's what happened to Josh Burkeen. Either that or he's doing what his donors want. Neither one of those are good for Oklahoma. So he's joined in with the Rebel Caucus, with the Insurrection Caucus. They keep calling themselves the Freedom Caucus, whatever. I don't know if it means freedom to do whatever the hell you want, regardless of the rules. Not sure. But he's joined in with that group and holding the congressional chamber hostage. Then, as I'm doing my work, trying to get ready for reorganization, Lauren Boebert votes for Kevin Hern, representative-elect from Congressional District 1, my home district. She votes for Kevin Hern, and I think, oh, for the love of God, if someone as extreme as Lauren Boebert has your name in her mouth, what does that say about how you act when you're up there in D.C.? What does that say about what they might think of you, that people are voting for you? I'm not sure, but Josh Burkeen voted for him on the first round. On the second round, Lauren Boebert, so he was a part of the official mix, talking about his family, talking about his conservatism, nominated him. And Josh Burkeen voted for him again. But so did Matt Gaetz. If Lauren Boebert and Matt Gaetz think that they're in good company when they're hanging out with you, you need to change rooms. You need to get far, far away from them. But Kevin Hern did not. In our process, when somebody nominates someone who is not interested, they get to say, I'm not interested. Kevin Hern said no such thing. Kevin Hern is playing footsies with the extremists. That's why I have to talk about it, because this is local politics. This is local politics. The folks that were elected in Oklahoma get to D.C. and forget that they represent us. They get to hanging out with the cool kids, with the cool insurrectionists, and forget about representing us. That's what's happened. Additionally, it made me think of what happened on the Oklahoma House floor on Tuesday when they were having organizational day. That's the day when they come to the House and they review the rules and make sure that everybody is good and clear with the rules. One of the rules that they proposed, and let me talk about the rules. Hold on a second. They had pre-session meetings. There was a rules committee of 20 people, 20, not a single solitary Democrat. It was 20 Republicans in a room deciding what the rules were. So then when they were reviewing the rules on the floor, one of the rules that came out was that if a House member breaks a rule, and here's the thing, they're not always going to uphold the rules. They're not always going to call the House member out because that's draconian. They're going to let the House member vote, but they're going to strip the vote from the count. So if I'm wearing denim, forget, because I come running in at the last minute, I'm wearing denim, they will let me be on the floor. They will let me vote. But when they record the actual vote, they will erase my vote. That is their plan. And they say it's in the name of the rules and in the names of not embarrassing folks. Here's the thing. Every member of the House represents 40,000 Oklahomans. Now, 40,000 Oklahomans didn't vote for them, didn't vote for any of them, even the ones who didn't have opposition. 40,000 people didn't vote for them because in Oklahoma, only about 25% of Oklahoman citizens actually participate in the election process. But they do represent us. And so my representative is on the floor and she does something that offends them. She casts her vote. They will just erase her vote when they record it for the official record. How am I making the connection? I've been watching this debacle of the election of the Speaker of the House. And every time somebody gets up to nominate Kevin McCarthy, it's their opportunity to shine. It's their 10 minutes, their 15 minutes of fame. And they all talk about, hey, this is the most debate that we've ever had on this floor. We don't normally get to debate. First of all, I don't believe it. But here in Oklahoma, the ruling party is making rules so that our legislators don't get to debate. And take it a step further, they're making rules to take away the votes of our legislators. And here's the horrible part about it. They're not just taking away the votes of Democratic legislators. They're taking away the votes of whatever legislator offends them on that day. It's not fair for those of us who think that there's somebody in Oklahoma City representing us. They might be, they may not be, depends on who decides if they're breaking a rule. I'm asking you, go look it up if you don't already know. Find out who your representative in the state house is. Write to them. Ask them to rail against this rule. Ask them to bring this rule up again and ask for another vote. I want my reps' votes to count. I voted for her. I want her there, and I want her votes to count. And I bet whoever represents you, you want their votes to count as well. This is the year. This is an odd year when we are to rebuild our party, where we're to rebuild democracy in Oklahoma from the ground up. Take your time, get involved. Don't wait until the even years when we have federal elections. We have elections on the ballot now, and we have opportunities to get involved in direct democracy now. I'm asking you, get involved. Look up who represents you on the city council, on the school board, in the House, in the state Senate. Find out who represents you. Put their names in your phone, put their emails in your phone, and reach out to them. Communicate with them because they represent you. They work for you. All righty, thanks for joining me. I'll be back here tomorrow at 4:15. You guys have a great evening.